right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for listening to the first official episode of SkywardCast. Here's my co-host, Delvin Cox. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I had a joke, but I used the joke, so I'm not going to use the joke again.
You know what? The audio was so messed up, I probably didn't even hear it last time. Oh, man. But yeah, man, finally got this going on. I mean, we had some serious technical difficulties last time. It was like as you said, it was something like T-Pain in here. Oh man, but yeah, finally got this going. After, I mean, I tried, as I said the last time. I'm just gonna redo everything. As I said the last time, I had this going. I tried to get a podcast going, and we had we planned everything out, and they dropped out on me. Like after we recorded the whole thing, like we recorded it, and it was like, okay, so I'm gonna put it up on my channel, because they had way more subscribers than me. So it's like, we're gonna put it up on yours, and I'm like, so hey, so when you gonna put the podcast up? Yeah, I'm gonna do it next week. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, so next week comes by, and it's like, okay, so you still gonna put it up? Yeah, I got it. Third time, it's like, so what's up with that? What's up with that podcast? And they just, like, I don't know. So after that, it was dead. But that doesn't matter because this is here.
I don't think we even explain what this is.
No. We're gonna get to that. This basically, the podcast it's like a discussion room. You know what I mean? Basically, anything that's going on, anything we want to talk about. Of course, I'm heavily into geek stuff, so yes, it's gonna be a lot of comic related movies, a lot of video games, techie stuff, all that different stuff. Yes, that's going to be a lot of that, but it could be anything from politics or whatever, you know what I mean? That's just what I wanted. I wanted to have that, basically like you described it last time. It was just like, a discussion just between two people just sitting down having a discussion instead of it being like, not like an interview, but yeah. Okay,
let me give a good explanation for what I think it's going to be. Okay.
Oh, my explanation wasn't good.
No, you refer to a podcast that they're never going to hear.
Oh, no. I'm talking about what I just gave that description of. That was this.
Yeah, you said, but like I said earlier.
Oh, well, listen. When I said, as you said earlier, I gave a summary of what you said. I think, unless I'm bugging, I could be. I'm tired, so.
Let's just talk nonsense for 45 minutes to an hour.
Go ahead, man.
No, but to give you guys an update what it's going to be. Okay, for those who listen to Delvin Cox Experience, Delvin Cox Experience is kind of more serious, more talking about people learning experiences about their life and things like that. This podcast is going to be a little bit more different. It's going to be more laid back. Me and my man gonna sit here and just talk to you guys about things that we like, and we're not gonna sugarcoat anything.
That sounds good, man. When I started thinking about it, I wanted to have one of those like a real, not like a tough name, but I was like, okay, like digital controversy or something like that. But then it's like, it's not gonna be controversial all the time. We're just gonna be sitting here talking. You know what I mean? So, and in the end. Well, mostly because Delvin over there, we decided to go with SkywardCast.
He asked me, what should we name it? He said, should we name it SkywardCast? I'm like, you're asking a person who literally named his podcast after himself.
And it just worked. And surprisingly, no one had it. So it's like, hey, man, why not? Let's just go with it. So what's been going on, man? What you been in this week? This is that part of the podcast. I'm just, so in the beginning, every week, or not every week. I don't know if I want to do, like every other week, maybe. I don't know. I don't really have that much to talk about where it's like, okay, well, every single week.
He literally said in this podcast every week that no, I just thought about that. I got things to do.
Exactly. I don't know about every week, man. We got to scale that back. It's gonna be a bi-weekly, maybe. No, definitely.
Maybe monthly, maybe yearly.
But yeah, we started out and just talked about what's going on this week, what you're into. It's kind of a bootleg geek out. Shout out to Bobby, aka Nintendo Guru. It's not straight theft, but it's kind of a bootleg. But that's what we're gonna talk about. Whatever you've been into this week. So what you been into?
Okay, let me get into this. Have you read comic books?
No, I tried. I tried to get into them, but man, that can get kind of expensive, and so it kind of fell off.
Okay, on my podcast the previous week, I had Rodney Barnes. He writes for Falcon right now.
Mm-hmm.
But what you may know him from, he was a writer on the Boondocks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that show.
So a lot of our favorite episodes of the Boondocks, he had a hand in writing.
You got any specific ones?
I think it was the R. Kelly one, the Martin Luther King one. He said it on the podcast. I think those are the ones on top of my head he was saying. But it was a real cool interview. He's a great guy. I told him you got to come back on because every time I talk to him, he's talking about something he's doing that's new. And it's always something that I love. Like right now, Falcon is one of my favorite superheroes because for those who read comic books, they know he was previously Captain America.
I saw that. I didn't, but of course, I never really got the chance to get into it like that. You know what I got to get? I got to get one of those subscriptions to like one of those comic book services.
Like Marvel Unlimited?
So I could one of those, so I could just really dig into it. Because, just I think that's really what's held me back is just because when I got into comics books, I can't talk. When I got into comics last, it was I read right through it. You know what I mean? And I think it's just I'm finished and now I got to go back and get some more. So it's like, yeah, I'll go back and get some eventually. And so but if I just got this big collection right there, I think that'll really help me get into it. So I'm gonna have to try one of those.
Yeah, I usually read my comic books on the downtime, or even as people do when I go to the bathroom, I read the comic book. So
yeah,
that's crazy.
Nothing but time in there.
Yep, definitely. But I got back into comic books a couple years back, and I've been really deep in it ever since. Like, because for those who don't know, I live in South Florida. And there was a time when there was no comic book shops down here. And now they're literally everywhere.
Oh, you know what caused the change?
Marvel.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Marvel, once that whole Iron Man thing started blowing up and everybody started getting back into comic books, it started becoming more popular again.
Mm-hmm.
Comic book shops started just popping back up.
Oh man, well, that's crazy. There's really no comic book stores around here. I think I can only think of one. I'm over in Southern California. I don't know if there's too many down here.
Not in Southern California?
What was that?
I say that's crazy. It's not that many in Southern California.
Not that I know of. I mean, but then maybe I'm just not looking like that. There's probably some in some corners I'm just not spotting, but there's definitely not. They're not everywhere. But yeah, I know of one just off top.
Well, let's not talk about me. What you been getting into lately, bro?
Me, oh man, the only thing that was hot this week for me is Black Panther, which that's gonna be the main discussion. But yeah, man, Black Panther, I love that freaking movie. Jeez.
What did you like about it?
What did I like about it? I mean, I liked the characters. I liked Jeez. When I walked out of that second, man, I wished I lived in Wakanda so much. Man, but yeah, T'Challa, dude is a beast, man. Um, Killmonger, jeez, I love the environment, the whole, like the way they integrated different parts of um different like African traditions into it. It's like a fusion of so many different cultures, and just to to create this whole, it really gave me it was a cool vibe, man. I went to go see it twice. So other than that, go ahead.
I want to ask you. So, what was your impressions of the movie itself? Because I loved everything that came around it. I didn't expect the uproar to be this big about this movie, and it's been way beyond my expectations.
Impressions, you know what? All right, so we're gonna get into the impressions, right? But I had just like a pre-discussion thing. I wanted to ask you about something, right?
Go ahead.
So you know the Monique situation, right? Her and Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, I look exactly, man. So
back.
Oh yeah, I'm like, just seeing her do that whole thing, just the whole little speech. It's you could tell that she believes that she's more relevant than she actually is still. Now, what really brought this on to ask you about this today? I saw a video, right? She did this. She did an interview on The View, and so she was talking about how this whole time she kept on going on about how Hollywood blackballed her and she's been, done so wrong. And I didn't really understand the backstory behind it. But it turns out, so when I guess Precious, I think that was the movie.
Yeah, that was the movie she won the Oscar for.
Yeah, so that was the movie. And around that time, she done the movie. She was finished. I guess then it came time to promote the movie overseas. They call her up and they're like, "Hey, so you know what? Movie's we're done. We're doing all that. Now we need to go out and promote. We need you to come out." And she's like, I fulfilled all my contractual obligations. I'm good. I'm out here with my family. Y'all going ahead with that. And then so she's upset. But it's like, I understand them not wanting to deal with her after that. You can't have people put millions of dollars on a movie and then you don't come through to do overseas promotion and then you expect for people to call you back. Like, well, so she felt like
more than that. She just told a little piece of the story from what I've heard.
What else did you hear?
Everybody universally says that she sucks to work with.
Yeah, I did hear something about that, man.
She has like a horrible attitude. She talks down to people, this and that. It's like a constant theme. And not only that, the fact that like she throws people under the bus.
Throw them under the bus? Like in what way?
Like, good example, like once that whole thing with Precious went down, she started talking bad about Oprah, Tyler Perry, any prominent Black person who has any position of power. And when you do that, you're not gonna get no help from them whatsoever.
Oh yeah. That was a part of the conversation that she had at the View. Like the way she described it, right? She made it seem like every person that actually came forward to call her to the side, like they were like, "Hey, you know what? Just look, this is just something you got to do. This is like, it's kind of like a part of, I guess, paying your dues. You know what I mean? Everybody has to do this. You just do what you got to do for right now." And eventually, it'll put you in a better position. But she felt that because everybody was calling her to the side and trying to make her go along with the game, to play the game. She even said like Lee Daniels was like, you know what? Like the reason why you're in this position is because you just didn't know how to play the game. She was making it seem like they were sellouts basically. When no, that's just how it works. And especially in that situation that she was talking about on that interview, like I'm thinking of it from a business perspective, right? If I spend hundreds of millions, like I said, if I spend hundreds of millions and then we filmed the movie. Now it's time to promote. And then you say like, hey, I did all I was supposed to do. I'm good. Yeah, then next time I'm not going to want to deal with you. And I'm going to tell my other people, like, don't mess with her. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes time to promote the movie, she's just going to kind of flake out on you. Why would anybody want to deal with that? And you got a history of being terrible behind the scenes, creating like a tense environment. Everyone is just, no one feels comfortable around you. Don't know how you're going, like if you're going to pop off. Yeah, that's a crazy situation.
And let's just keep it real. It's hard to feel sympathetic for a person who's like, I don't need $500,000. That's the big like, no. Really, my G?
Yeah. And especially in her situation, like and I know I think that's another thing. Like she feels like her situation is not her fault. Like, so it's like, yeah, I may not be as relevant, but it's because of these other people. So I still, like, she feels in her heart that all those relevancy points that she had, like, she still has. Like, no, I don't remember the last time I seen her on something. What was it? Like, I think the last big thing that she did was that Christmas movie with Danny Glover. And
people out here ain't got $5. And you sitting here crying to us about you not getting $500,000? I ain't trying to hear it. I'm keeping it real. Like, yo, fam, I don't want to hear about your pocket.
Nah, definitely not. Especially in that situation. And especially when she could have took that and flipped it. Like, you could have took that $500,000 situation and it would have put you in the eyes of millions. Everybody watches Netflix. Her picture would have been rolling in front of the eyes of millions of people, and that would have brought people to her shows, she could have got a Fox show or something off of this, but she's just like, nah, I'm not going to take that. I don't know.
And I don't fault her for not taking it. That's not my problem with what she did at all. My problem is, okay, she didn't take it, but then she would have kind of like throw people under the bus because she didn't take it. She made it an issue. She could have quietly said, oh, I didn't want it. I can do this on my own. I can make more money on my own. Well, she probably could. But it's like she kind of made a bigger issue out of it for that exposure. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, Amy Schumer got this much money. Dave Chappelle got this much money. Chris Rock got this much money. Why am I only getting this much? Why are you counting?
Because you're you. that. And it's because it's like, you're you. You're not Amy Schumer. You're not, I mean, as much as I don't think she's very funny, like, she's everywhere. You know what I mean?
She brings in money for those companies.
Yeah. So it's she's bringing in money. She's a good investment. And well, as far as I know, she's less drama. So win-win. So I don't know, man.
And we can't even compare her to Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. Like, fam, really?
I don't know. She was straight bugging on that. I think she even tried to take it on a sexist kind of twist. Like, hey, they're doing black women wrong out here. Everybody, like, get out of here. It's not even about all that.
Tiffany Haddish feel pretty good.
Oh yeah, she's doing great right now.
You can't say people doing black women wrong when she out here thriving and surviving. Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know what her situation is. Hopefully she gets it together because, yeah, I don't see things getting any better for her. All right, man. So I guess, yeah, now we can get into that discussion. I just wanted to have that. I put that in the notes because it was just like, I got to ask his opinion on this real quick. But yeah, so, all right. So now we can get into Black Panther.
I had a question for you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many people went to your theater dressed up?
That first night?
Whatever night you went.
Let's see. You know what? I don't even know. I didn't see too many people dressed up that first night. It seemed like everybody was just wearing regular casual clothes. I went on Thursday. And then I went again on Sunday. And then there was a couple people coming through dressed up, but it really wasn't. I didn't get to see the big show up. You know what I mean? Where everybody came out on Friday. So yeah, I think I may have missed out on that. And plus, my theater.
Your experience was completely different than mine because I went that Saturday morning, which I figured it's not gonna be busy Saturday morning. Like I went to the 10 o'clock show Saturday morning. The theater wasn't even open yet. There was a long line.
You must be located next to like a popular theater or something. Because mine is just kind of like it's not major at all. You know what I mean? It's just like one of the ones in the city, in a smaller city at that.
Yeah, so. It was crazy because I'm like, and fortunately I had bought my tickets online, so I didn't have to wait in the line to buy tickets. So, but when I was in line getting my popcorn, like it was cool because a lot of people was dressed up like in African garbs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was in line getting my popcorn, dude came up to me. He was like, "Bro, I come in here every Saturday to watch movies at 10 o'clock. It is never this crowded."
Of course, opening weekend for one of the most anticipated movies ever.
But I'll put it to you this way: I usually go see the first show on Saturdays because it's never busy. Mm-hmm. I did the same thing for The Last Jedi. Nowhere near as busy.
Were the majority of the people, were they black?
Yeah. I want to say it was
that's why.
70% black and 30% white.
That's why. And look, black people weren't showing up like that for Last Jedi. I mean, black people were showing up, but not like this. So, I mean, maybe that just has to do with the people in the area around your theater.
That could play a part into it. It could, but it was cool to see that many black people. I'm not even talking about going to the movie theater to see it and amp up to see it, but leave and be so happy and feel so empowered by this movie.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people talk about M'Baku and he was cool. This guy's cool. And I see the adults talk about that movie was so awesome. I see the adults getting back in line to pay to see the movie again.
What?
I've never seen Black reaction. Get back in line to pay to see the movie again.
Oh man, it was a crazy vibe, man.
So, what did you think of the movie in the whole by itself? Let's get into a little bit of the movie.
Okay. Geez, what I think about it.
Keep in mind that there's probably a few people who haven't seen the movie yet, so let's not get too deep into spoilers.
Oh man, I didn't know it was going to be a non-spoiler cast.
I'm not saying non-spoiler. Don't get too deep into it because unless you want to label it a spoiler cast.
You know what? I might just have to do that. Because not really a spoiler cast. I don't want to go into anything but one of the main things I really wanted to touch on was which side would you have picked, T'Challa or Killmonger?
Well, I can tell you that right now.
Go on ahead, man.
People not gonna like my decision, but I'm rolling with it. T'Challa.
What?
Yep, T'Challa.
Why?
Okay, let's get into what you said about what Killmonger said and what Killmonger's philosophy and T'Challa's philosophy. Killmonger, for those who want to know, he wanted to. What he said he wanted. I'm trying to get it right. Did he want to open up Wakanda?
He basically wanted to give
and help everybody who needed it.
Well, I don't know. That's more like Nakia. That's what she wanted. No, you know what I mean? Killmonger, he basically wanted to
help black people.
Yeah. I mean, she wanted to help everybody. She wanted to just deliver freaking aid all over the world.
The black people.
But
that's what Killmonger wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I would have. Okay, I wouldn't have gone about it that same way, but.
See, that's the whole thing. That's the whole kind of. See, the thing about it is, what Killmonger's philosophy was, it made sense and it was sound, but the question is, wasn't realistic.
Well, you know what? Listen, I mean, I think it would have played out differently than it seemed because everybody just saw him as this wild dude that was just gonna start chucking weapons everywhere. But he had a good plan. He was actually going. He was gonna ship these weapons out to the war dogs, basically the Wakandan spies all over the planet, and they would have been the ones that watch over the weapons and distribute them. So it wouldn't have just been like, "Hey, I'm gonna drop this crate of weapons in the alley and everybody go grab at them." It would have been an organized plan to put the weapons in the hands of people that he believed needed them for liberation. You know what I mean? So I definitely think it would have went down a lot differently, but I hated the way he went about getting the power to do that.
See, my problem with the whole thing is this. Okay, at this moment in time, people don't know Wakanda is essentially the richest country in the world. Correct? Mm-hmm. So if Wakanda goes out offering all this foreign aid, which I think is going to end up being a problem in the sequel, now that everybody's going to know that, hey, Wakanda is not so poor as we think it is. When you have a country that gets power, people come at that country.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just look at the United States and see that.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know, the United States is a perfect example of that, where the United States is looked on as a powerhouse. So everybody either wants foreign aid from the United States or wants to knock the United States off its pedestal. How long you think it's before someone tries to do either or one of those things to Wakanda?
I don't know if anybody would actually have the power to do. I think if they knew that someone was actually coming, you know what I mean? If they knew that people actually knew, I think defenses are going to be different in Wakanda, right? Because right now they feel comfortable. They have the whole little shield. No one can see. No one knows. You know what I mean? They have like the perfect disguise. So defenses are a little bit lessened. You know what I mean? But I believe that if once they actually do, like, wait, are we doing full spoilers? Or are we, we still trying
to say what you want to say?
But yeah, I feel like once they actually do start to, they let everybody know what's really going on in Wakanda, I feel like defenses are going to be totally different. So, I don't think anyone will actually have the technology other than Tony Stark to actually break through. And it may be not even him. I don't know.
But see, that also leads to another thing, because as the great Nasir Jones said, people fear what they don't understand.
Oh, definitely. That was the main thing about what was it, Civil War? That's why the government tried to take control of the Avengers.
Yeah. So just think about it like this. You just hit on a perfect point. They saw how powerful the Avengers were and tried to take control of it. So imagine they see Wakanda, a country they thought was so weak and needed foreign aid. All of a sudden, not only they're a powerhouse, but they literally can take you out if they wanted to.
There's still nothing they can do about it. I mean, like those weapons. I mean, the fact that they have stealth weapons, they can, there's just so much that they could do. So, I mean, I guess we're gonna have to see, but I see what you're saying. At the point where you don't really want to let everybody know what you have, so then they can try to come for it or start begging for it. But still, it's like, I don't know, maybe they could have gone about it in a different way to offer aid without letting everybody know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm fine with them offering aid, but it has to be done in a way where it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Killmonger's way didn't make sense in that sense, because he wanted to help everybody, which in a sense is noble. But T'Challa's way at the end of the movie, okay, that kind of made sense. When he went to Oakland and did what he did, that seemed like a logical first step.
It was the same end result, though. In both ways, you exposed what they had, whether with good intentions or bad intentions. You know what I mean? So basically, T'Challa did exactly what Nakia wanted from the beginning. For them to open everything up and offer aid wherever it was needed because they had the ability to do it. You know what I mean? Whereas Killmonger, he just wanted to help black people and stop them because it's like, I've been experiencing black people going through this and that and that and this, but they wouldn't have to if you guys were there or you gave them the power to actually fight back. So, I mean, it's either way, you're exposing everyone to what Wakanda can do. So now, I mean, at first I was like, yeah, I'm full, Killmonger. I'm on his side, not necessarily on his side, and that the way he went about things, because I mean, the way he would have went about things, a lot of people would have died. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that. But if I had the power, if I was in that situation, if I was the king of Wakanda, and I knew black people worldwide were always on the bottom end of the totem, and I had the strength to do something about that, or even to just bring them in. Like, dang, I would have. But then, of course, you don't want everybody else's problems to become yours, or for people to bring their other ways of thinking and mess up the way Wakanda is. Like that same the pure Wakandan spirit. You don't want to bring a whole bunch of Americans in there and just throw off the vibe. So, I mean, I get it. Yeah.
But then there's also a third side that nobody never talks about too. M'Baku's side.
What was his side?
He was saying, because remember when he first fought Black Panther in the beginning of the movie, he wants Wakanda to get back to a simpler way of life because he said they are too technologically advanced.
Yeah, bump that. Bump that trash. I mean, there's no way. I mean, if you look at it, they live. Okay, well, no, they don't. I mean, they live as it seems simple. I don't know. It's weird. It seems like they have the perfect mix of tradition. You know what I mean? With like mixed with tech. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're scientifically advanced society, but they understand the traditions and they respect them, and it seems like in a really deep way. So I mean, in a way, it kind of seems like he only does that. He only goes about that because he feels like, I don't know, maybe he has no other option. Do the Jabari tribe, do they actually have access to all of the vibranium like all the others, or are they just like outcasts?
They're outcasts. They refuse to follow the ways, because that was the whole point of it. But they were banned from that part of Wakanda.
So they just refused it. So if they wanted to, they could have took part in that.
They could have took part in the council, but they refused to take part in the council. If I remember correctly, they tried to overthrow Wakanda at one point. They got banned from the council. That's why they stayed kind of on the outskirts.
Bump that nonsense. They're staying off in the cold mountains simply over tradition. I would have took the tech, used it for what's necessary, and I mean, just because you would have been a part of the council didn't mean that they would have had to, do exactly what the others were doing. You know what I mean? There's no reason to go that far. But I mean, hey, everyone do what you want. But yeah, I definitely would have been living like T'Challa.
Well, just look at it this way. This is a huge spoiler for the movie. Huge spoiler. So I'm letting everybody know right now, I'm giving out a huge spoiler. Okay. Right after the scene where everybody thought T'Challa was dead, they immediately went to M'Baku because they thought, okay, we can't let Killmonger be a ruler. We'd rather go back to the old ways and let M'Baku be the ruler as opposed to Killmonger because he's that bad.
It's like the reputation that they set up for M'Baku, it didn't really match the person that he actually turned out to be. I don't know if that's just because of like a big leap in character development that he had from the beginning to the end. But, when they were walking up that side of that mountain and they saw the ape head, and they're like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe we might be, like you said, we might be setting ourselves up for something even worse going with him. But then you go over to him and you realize that this dude is he honestly just wants the best for Wakanda. And he's willing to compromise I mean, hey, as you see from the Infinity War trailer, I mean, he seems well integrated there. But then I think in that situation, he has no choice because Thanos came to town.
Well,
So
at the end of the movie, I think they said that they let him part of the council.
really,
yeah, because of his help with it, because of that final battle, he's part of the council now.
I could have totally missed that. I'm gonna have to watch it again. Dang.
But his character is very fascinating to say the least.
Oh yeah, he was hilarious. He was one of my favorite characters. Just it was totally unexpected. I
But
mean, I wish there was more to it. I wish there were just certain points in the movie, including with him, that I wish I could have, they could have just found more time to explain things and to really give you a better idea. It was all stitched together in a way that I felt satisfied, but I still wanted more. And I guess that's just a show of how good the movie was. But
there were little subtle parts to his character. Like a good example of that is when they come up to him and say, "Oh, T'Challa's dead in battle. You have to take over now." He's like, "What are you talking about? He lost." It's not like he was cheated or anything like that. He lost.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing I can do about that.
And that. Mm-hmm.
He didn't have nowhere in his mind where he thought, well, we can just overthrow this guy. He was willing to follow the rules of Wakanda.
Yeah, I mean, and so was it Okoye?
Yeah.
She was. They were like, you can't just disrespect the tradition just because you don't respect the
result.
Yeah, exactly. Which is well, dang. I mean, I say that, but then you got Trump. Like I'm not about to, yeah, okay. I guess I could be a little I could cherry pick sometimes.
That's what it was about, in a sense. It was about how far are you willing to take tradition?
Mm-hmm.
Because there was so much of the movie about, hey, are you willing to ride with tradition no matter how wrong it may be at the moment in time?
Oh, definitely not.
Because a lot of points in the movie were like, this may be immoral, but it's part of our tradition.
You said many parts, like what? Other than Killmonger's actions, what was there?
T'Chaka's actions.
Yeah, that's true.
Because think about it. He kills his brother, and essentially because his brother's son, which he knew about, wasn't 100% Wakandan, he left him there to fend for himself.
Which I thought that part was ridiculous a little bit. Like, come on, you saw how fast he was moving, right? How come he couldn't just, as he already stopped him from shooting, what's his name? I can't remember. Forrest Whitaker's character, right? He already stopped him from shooting him. There was no reason for him to dig him with the Panther claws and take him out. After that, all he had to do was he could have knocked him out or something.
You could have took the gun from him.
Exactly. He could have he already stopped him. He already I'm pretty sure he knocked the gun or did whatever he did. He stopped him from getting shot. So he could have, none of that had to happen. I don't even understand why they put that in there.
He did it in a swift motion where he knocked the gun and at the same time he stabbed him in the heart.
That wasn't necessary. He could have knocked him out. That was crazy. I don't know. That whole part, it just, I mean, I get it. It's just one step that needs to happen so that the rest of the movie can play as it's supposed to. But it just felt so unnecessary. You know what I mean? They could have taken him to prison, and had they taken him in, right, and imprisoned him, and Killmonger never saw his father again, but he thought he was dead, it could have played out the exact same way.
Yeah.
Right? He just disappeared. Well, maybe it would have played out that same way, because maybe he would have just thought that his father abandoned him. But then maybe he would have wanted to go to Wakanda to get revenge in that way. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, it's a step that needed to happen so the movie could play out that same way. But there's so many. It just felt so like it just didn't need to happen.
There was only one problem I really had with the movie that kind of like, that was a little weird. And my whole thing was the end of the fight.
The final fight.
Yeah, the end of the fight. I was like, That didn't make any sense. Okay.
You might as well go ahead. I know you
all
I
this
know
time,
you're trying to hold back. Mm-hmm.
And they're killing Wakandans, right? Nope, Wakandans are killing Wakandans in this big battle. So this dude sees his wife and like, nah, okay, we good. We don't need to fight no more. That made no sense.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I don't think they were actually killing each other. I think, like, if you look at them,
Killmonger literally slit one of their throats. One of her soldiers' throats.
Yeah, that's Killmonger. But the rest of them, like, if you look at them, they were just beating them down into submission. You know what I mean? They weren't actually killing anyone. When he saw that, he was like, do I really want to go this far? Like, do I really want to go to war with or challenge this, this woman that I love? No. Like, and he's looking around at all his people. It's like, look at what this conflict is doing. So I'd rather give up.
But wouldn't you think once he saw Killmonger fighting his wife, he should be like, nah, this ain't a good idea.
One, he was too busy fighting T'Challa for that to even see all that. And then when did that mess? Oh yeah. No, at that point, the friggin' Jabari tribe showed up. So it was a whole big old mess going on over there. And Killmonger and the other the other members of the guard, yeah, they were over there fighting off to the side.
But that started at like at the beginning. Because remember when T'Challa first pulled up, they were getting ready to fight T'Challa. And then she said, protect the king. And she went after Killmonger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he took off his, whatever he was wearing, the Black Panther suit went around him. So once he saw his wife going at Killmonger, he said like, you know what? This ain't gonna work.
I don't know. No, wait. When things first went down, like they charged at T'Challa first. Remember?
They were getting ready to charge at him because he came up and said, I wasn't dead yet. The battle wasn't over. I never died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then after that, they charged at him. I mean, well, no, what happened? Okay, so they didn't charge at him first.
Yeah, they charged at him when he said that, but they charged at him because her husband said charge at him. Well, Killmonger said charge at him, and her husband acknowledged that. But she said no. And then her royal guard attacked Killmonger.
Yeah, but that was after they had already spread out.
It wasn't that much spread out, bro.
Come on, when you're fighting the Black Panther, you don't really have much time to be looking forward and back and all that stuff. All that stuff that was going on behind, he wasn't even acknowledging that. Come on, man. I understand that part, but I don't know.
That don't take away from the movie, though, by the way. That doesn't take away from the movie at all.
Nah, it doesn't. That's
like a minor point. That's like a minor point of that. That's like the movie's almost perfect. It's already in my top 5 Marvel films.
I'd say it's the most well-rounded of them all, and it's definitely the most like it's different. Like when you're watching it, there's some moments where you're like, "Dang, this is a Marvel movie? Like that's crazy." You know, the other ones they all follow that. Even as different as Doctor Strange is, it still follows that same formula. Especially once the action starts. Like in the beginning, it really feels different. But once all the, everything comes into, I'm not trying to just be spoiling a whole bunch of movies, so I'm just going to kind of, you know what I mean, right? Yeah, once everything starts up in Doctor Strange, it falls back into that sort of, action, lighthearted Disney, like action film with the comedic touch. And I just didn't want that for that movie. So I love the fact that Black Panther is, it feels actually unique.
It feels a lot more serious.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it does have a real serious and kind of a grounded vibe to it, like a realistic vibe to it, other than the fact that, there's so much unrealistic technology. So that sci-fi part, but
the sci-fi part was pretty cool. It reminded me a lot, and a lot of people been saying this, of Star Wars.
Whoa, how?
because Wakanda looks like the world from Star Wars in Last Jedi.
I totally didn't see that. I'd have to see maybe some. If a couple people were saying that, there's probably some comparison shots online. I'm gonna have to go look it up.
Yeah,
but I didn't see that.
Jedi, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, you remember the casino type world?
Yeah, I remember that pretty good.
You a little bit of that world, how bright it is, and how it has this certain like cleanness to it. Wakanda was beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, it definitely was. I loved that night shot. You know, after Killmonger became king, and what was it? That scene where Nakia was trying to convince Okoye to overthrow him. You know, and there was all those those windows, and you could see all the city. Everything was lit up, and it was crazy, man. The way you could see all the tall buildings all lit up. I love the way that looked. That really did look like Star Wars. Now that you say it, I didn't even think of that. I didn't make that comparison.
Yeah, the movie is so well done, and
yeah, definitely.
I think the way I described to somebody as, it feels a lot like how Batman Begins felt before The Dark Knight. You know what I'm saying? Like how, as great as this movie was, you know the second one's gonna be the one.
I don't know. I think it's just because I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so I can't really make the comparison. Hey, so what do you think of that end? What do you think of the end of the fight between T'Challa and Killmonger?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool how they did it. I think I wish he would have lived, because that brings in a whole other problem with his own.
Yeah, you know what I'm hoping. You know what? Before I say that, that's a problem that I have with a lot of Marvel movies, is that so many of the villains are just have one go and that's it. Yeah. Like that's how. Dang it! I can't even bring that up as an example, but that's a problem I have with so many of them, is that they never really have that character development. Like, give them 2 times. Let the enemy be able to retreat, or be so powerful that it causes the hero to retreat and then come back and then win in the sequel. You know what I mean?
Exception of what, Loki and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I mean, but those characters are, they're constantly like in a battle between good and evil. So that's kind of like, I understand that, but like, you never really have a true villain actually have a chance to go back, regroup, and then come back stronger than ever. Like, I mean, I felt like Ultron was terrible. I felt like he was so hyped, and he turned out to just be just like a dud.
My problem with Ultron was, I don't really know. The movie, I think that movie gets a lot of flack, and it's nowhere near as bad as people say it is. It just wasn't Avengers. Avengers, you can't come with something as great as Avengers and then have that movie. You get what I'm saying? Civil War makes a better sequel.
It does, but yeah, I think both my issue with Age of Ultron is the same I had with Civil War, is that it was just too small scale. Like, how are you going to have a battle with all these major heroes and then just have it take place in a small airport off in somewhere in, what was it, like Russia or something? I don't know. Like, come on, man. This is supposed to be something huge. Like, their battle could like destroy half the planet or something. Nothing. It just felt too small scale.
It made sense in Civil War, though. I think it made sense in Civil War.
They made it make sense, but it still felt so out of place. Like, wouldn't you expect it to be something like huge? You know what I mean? Like the same vibe that you get from from Age of Ultron when you watch that trailer. Like, you'd expect it to just be like this big battle that's just it's about to be something amazing. Not like a small scale airport battle.
I like the fact that Civil War was on a small scale, because that was my problem with Justice League. And I love the Justice League movie. But the problem with it was, it seems like in the DC universe, every week the city is getting destroyed. Think about it. Man of Steel. What happens? Metropolis gets destroyed by Superman. Batman versus Superman. What happens? They destroy a big part of Gotham City, fighting Doomsday. Wonder Woman was different because Wonder Woman was in the past and it was actually a war set, so it makes sense. Suicide Squad. The bad guys are destroying a city. Now, Justice League. Aliens coming in, they're destroying the city. How many times can you destroy different cities before you don't have any cities left?
You know what? I think my issue with DC movies is the opposite of what I feel with the Marvel movies. Is that the visual doesn't actually, what is it? It's like what you see doesn't really match as the scale of the battle like you think it's supposed to be. Well, in my case, that's how I feel about it. It's just like with Age of Ultron, you feel like it should have just been something bigger than, like this battle on what were they, on a rock or something? Well, it wasn't on a rock. It turned into a floating rock, but it was a small friggin' city, a small town. And it should have been something bigger than that. Ultron should have been like a global threat. And I know it was supposed to come off like a global threat, but it just didn't feel that way. It didn't match the hype that they were trying to give off. And you know what? It's not even the opposite. I said how I feel about my issue with Marvel is different than DC. It's the same thing. They keep trying to accept. It's just that the visuals aren't good enough in the DC movies to make you believe that the threat is as big as they make it seem. You know what I mean? And I think it's like when we got way off. We got way off. But like when I'm watching a DC movie and you see the city behind you, it never really feels like they're actually there. Like anyone's actually dying. Like there's, you don't feel sad about what's going on. And while the emotion is there in the Marvel movies, everything is just too small scale. So visually it's there in the DC movies, but it just doesn't really hit you emotionally. And and then the other ones, it's just everything just seems too small scale for the battle that they're trying to create.
I always appreciate that in the Marvel movies, with some of they did. Justice League did a good job at it too, but they didn't do it in Batman vs Superman and other ones. Marvel movies, when this damage happening to the city, you'll hear Captain America or somebody say, "Hey, protect the people," and they show them protecting the people and getting the people out of danger.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in mainly what was it, Man of Steel, Superman just beating the crap out of Zod. People are just everyone just dying, and nobody's like, "Hey, maybe we should get these civilians out of here." Like that doesn't make any sense.
That was one of the issues everybody had with it. It's like, what the heck? Like, why isn't Superman? I mean, if you watch the battle, you see like he's supposedly trying to, I guess, save the people by, he's taking care of the villain. But yeah, you're not like the comic book hero version. Like he would actually, you'd see him blocking stuff from hurting people. But yeah, he's just flying through buildings, probably killed about 50 people during that whole battle. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just thought, hey, these are it's collateral damage. That's definitely not Superman, though. All right, well, I'm not trying to go on too long, but dang. Okay, so where was I going? Okay, I just wanted to talk about that last part. Okay, do you think there would be a possible way for Killmonger to come back?
Yes.
I was hoping maybe because people were talking about that those stones can manipulate time and space and stuff like that. Maybe there's a way, and so that it just doesn't feel so brief. You know what I mean? If they could bring him back and somehow he gets a second chance, I don't know. I felt like it was unfair the way he went out. Especially, you know what irritated me the most? At the end of Civil War, remember how he stopped that dude from killing him? T'Challa stopped that dude from killing himself?
Yeah.
How come he didn't do the same thing for Killmonger?
I think he did try. He didn't try hard enough.
He tried to convince him to live. Like maybe there's a chance we can save you. but he didn't actually
He didn't
like
pull the
stop him.
dagger out of him like, hey, stop.
Yeah, he just let him pull that crap through his heart and just, hey, you're done.
He's
Yeah,
like,
if you wanna go, you can go. No, the other dude, he was like, nah, you're not about to get off that easy. You're about to face this justice. You should have done that same thing for Killmonger.
he was like, nah, you can go.
Yeah.
I don't want no hands. That shit took too much work.
Oh dang. As much as he went through that whole emotional struggle, I feel like he should have put up a little bit more effort to save him. You know what I mean? He could have been like, you know what, there's a chance that at some point you can redeem yourself. You know what I mean? But nah, just going ahead. If you want it, be gone. Oh man. But I don't know, man. I guess that's it, man. I don't want to drag it on too long. That was a good movie. I'm looking forward to part 2 whenever that happens with 2022 or something.
Well, they're gonna fast track that. This movie that made so much money.
Oh yeah, probably. Hopefully. But they got so much stuff on the schedule. They might be trying to look and see how the other ones are gonna do. I definitely think it was a big mistake putting Homecoming. You know how they push back Black Panther for Homecoming. Yeah, I bet they like, man, we made a huge mistake.
I think it turned out better for them though.
Yeah, more time. Who knows if it would turn out the same.
Black History Month.
That too. That too. All right, man. Well, I guess it's time to end off episode 1. Let them know where they can find you, man.
Delvin_Cox on Twitter, or check out the podcast at Delvin Cox Experience.
And of course, me at Twitter at Skyward King. You know what? I didn't even plug Nerd Frugality, but it's okay.
Plug it down.
No. You know what? I've been slacking anyway. So when I build it up and I feel like there's like I'm actually on it enough to justify putting it in there, I want people to be like, hey, yeah, I'm coming over here for all these deals. And it's like, hey, man, how come you didn't post in a day or two? I've been slacking. But yeah, man, look, if you want to check out my deals page, video games, consoles, and I kind of want to make it more just geek stuff related, deals. You can go check that out at Nerd Frugality on Twitter. And I think that's it.
There you go.
All right. Later, people.
Peace out.
Yo, my flow similar to Sacramento's weather, forever changing. Point guard for the Kings, but catch me center staging. Million words a minute, eyes closed, cause I'm meditating. Electrifying crowds, fans feel like they met with Raiden. I perfected gaming, but when your girl and the girls walk in.